What's happening, Vape fam? This is Joe of All Vapes coming at you. Once again, another review going on. We're going to get this down one-on-one. Personally, I just want to say thank you very much for sharing the pleasure that is another review. I kind of feel like you're more than just fans. I feel like you're followers. No, I'm just kidding. Totally friends, man. This is a wonderful vape community, and blessed every single day that you guys are just clicking on follow and like. You know what I'm saying? So let's get to it. Tons of new stuff have been happening. It is, way into the end of this year. The days are flying by faster than I ever could have imagined. Premier e-liquids. If you've never heard of this company, they make a ton of great e-juice, and I do mean a ton. We're working with, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 different lines that I'm aware of right now. The first one that we're going to review tonight is called No Name Craft E-Juice. Now, this is just one of their lines. Really, really cool. Check this out. I absolutely love kitschy little stuff like this. Just looking through some of the flavor profiles here. First of all, we've got SPF 15, pineapple cream with a hint of strawberry. Sounds right out of, just out of sight right there, man. Blue Moon, the original ice cream. Shorty is another flavor. Strawberry shortcake with whipped cream. Toucan, our take, their take, on a fruity cereal favorite. Sally is the next one. Creamy key lime pie. We'll kind of see how that one floats, you know what I mean? And Dapper is the last one. Smooth black raspberry cheesecake. So all these sound amazing. You're going to be able to see these guys on Instagram. PremierLiquids.com also is their website. So let's get on with it. Now, I've got my cheat sheet going on because I'm an old guy these days and I've got a terrible memory. But we're going to start with the first flavor that we bust out. Now, first of all, each and every one of these has a little bit of a different label going on. So you got the Shorty, has kind of a basic red going on in the background. The Blue Moon, kind of like a blue giraffe markings going on, something like that. This one is really cool. The SPF 15, if you look in the background, looks like some shots of Cali. Got a little surfboard on an old Woody in the background there. That's really, really cool. I've been sitting on this stuff for a while, and I really wanted to get to it and divulge this stuff to you. But if you're really super good, if you're good kids, I'll do a giveaway pretty soon. Then you can try your own no-name e-juice. You know what I'm saying? This is something that I'm really looking forward to. So first of all, the SPF 15, like I said, terrible memory. The pineapple cream with a hint of strawberry. So as you guys know, I work with my rating scale. Never tops out past a 5, okay? 5 is about as high as it can get because, I don't do 1 to 10, 0 to 10, whatever. Like to keep it simple. So we're going to start out with the SPF 15. First of all, this one was good. And it was light. And it was tasty. That is pretty darn good to say about something that I've never tried out before. So consistency and profile were pretty much on par. 5 out of 5 on both of those because everything that was in there is what you taste. You taste the pineapple cream with the hint of strawberry. Strawberry kind of came up on the back end, nothing too massively complicated. Nice familiar flavors that we're used to. Even if you just smell it, it smells really, really good. The pineapple came through very nice, not massively overpowering. You take a bite of natural pineapple, you always end up getting like a canker sore, just used to, because of the acid content. So the wonderful thing about this is that it doesn't make your tongue burn when you vape it. It's a really, really good, refreshing flavor. The cream was super light, a little bit lighter than I would have liked it to have been, but it was very present and the consistency was still good enough to deserve a 5 out of 5 on the consistency factor. So the sweet, as far as the sweet is concerned, you're definitely going to get sweet, but it wasn't as sweet as it could have been for me. I'm giving it about a 3 on the sweet factor. So midlined, I think they could have upped it just a little bit, but so what? You know what I mean? This was their dream. This was their baby. This is their mixology going on. Their mixologist coming up with something that obviously a ton of people like. They've got a ton of followers. So it ain't all about me, you know what I mean? But I'm unbiased. So I'm still going to give it a 3 out of 5. It could be a little bit higher, I think, just in the overall spectrum of what you're working with. A lot of strawberry vapes are usually kind of sweet. Typically the pineapple, not so much just because it is what it is. Very tart, very sweet at the same time, tropical. It's familiar, but still tropical. So I digress. Cloud production, I'm giving this a 4 out of 5 because the clouds are definitely there, but I like to see super thick clouds if I can. But once again, I'm unbiased. So if I know it's going to be a low VG, I'm not going to give it a low on the cloud production. It's going to be fair. It is what it is. it'll still get a lower number, but I'll explain why. So if it's like a 50-50, obviously. But I'm not going to give it a 5 out of 5 if it's a 50-50, because 5 is big clouds, baby. Joe likes his clouds, but I also like flavor, you know what I mean? So I think we can agree on that one. So the SPF 15 was very good overall. It's a good palate cleanser, very sweet to a certain degree. A little bit of a cream, just enough fruit to make it nice and happy. So something really good, I think, for the summertime. Next flavor we're going for is shorty. Strawberry shortcake with whipped cream. Looking at my my little cheat sheet here, the flavor was light. Now, the one thing that kind of hit me on this one was going back to the differences between artificial flavoring for e-juices and natural flavoring. I think the majority of the vaping community is so used to artificial flavor when it comes to e-juices, they don't expect a natural flavor because sometimes it can taste kind of off, and we don't know why. That's why. You're so used to artificial flavor. And don't get me wrong, I haven't got anything against that. I'm not like going organic tree hugger on you here, you know what I mean? So everything was primarily there. I guess you could say the consistency gets a 4. There's really no other place, rank within my rating system I can put that. It had to go the consistency because everything that was on the profile is definitely in the bottle. So profile, still got a 5 out of 5. Maybe I'm being generous on that one, but you know what? It's my rating system. Joe Vapes and do what he wants. Cloud production, once again, was a 4 out of 5 on this one. Like the other one, throat hit, once again, a 0. And the one thing I will say about the sweet is it gets a little bit higher than the SPF 15. Gets a 4 because the sweet was definitely there. This should be one of my favorite flavors. This is kind of what I can unfairly say is a lost leader for a lot of companies. Typically, strawberry cream flavor is usually the first flavor that a brand new company is always going to hit. That or a typical cereal vape. We've all tried those, right? They start just kind of blending together on our tongue after a while. So when I say lost leader, it's usually the brand that sort of pushes the company out. Once that starts getting popular enough, they can start investing a lot of money and time and effort into coming up with other different flavors and lines and concoctions and everything like that. Now, I'm not necessarily putting it in a negative light. This is marketing jargon. This is just something that companies do, and it's not just with e-juice, okay? It's with products. So whatever it is that they're trying to convey, whatever message it is that you're trying to convey, I still think that the shorty was really good. I happen to like strawberry cream stuff. Blueberry cream is my all-time favorite, but once again, I'm an unbiased reviewer. So that one was the shorty. The next one is Blue Moon. Okay, this was touted as the original ice cream. This one kind of confused me a little bit, okay? Now, they don't put anything more into that than the original ice cream. Now, if you go into the website, read a little bit more into that, maybe you can get more out of that than I can. But what I did find was something that was reminiscent to ice cream. I don't know if it was vanilla with a little bit of spice, maybe just a tiny bit of caramel, something. There was definitely something very unique being worked into this. Now, it had vanilla flavor, okay? It was definitely present, but this stuff was so incredibly light in the cream factor. I don't care what flavor ice cream you're working with. If you don't have the cream in the ice cream, then you're really not experiencing what it is that they're talking about. So the profile is probably going to suffer a little bit on this. Consistency and the profile on the Blue Moon, I got to give it a 3 out of 3 on both of those. Parallel, because the cream was so light, it almost tasted non-existent to me, which was a disappointment. I love Premier. So the cloud production, once again, gets a 4 out of 4 on that one. Because the consistency and the profile were so low, sweet factor only gets a 3 out of 5 on that one as well. So this is probably the lowest rated one out of the 6 for the no-name e-liquid. Now, you guys can try this stuff. Maybe it'll knock your socks off. I don't know. But for me, that's what I'm experiencing. I've tasted a lot of e-juice. I'm going to taste a lot more in the future. Just my personal opinion, guys. That's all this is. Take it or leave it. Next flavor is the Dapper. This stuff, they nailed. Right on the head. Several times and then made a ton of them, okay? This one was really, really good. Uncharacteristic of me to like a berry flavor, anything, typically berry flavored stuff, I'm not too up on, but every now and then I find something that impresses me. And this stuff definitely did, okay? So checking out my cheat sheet, I've gone kind of beyond the space to be able to write notes on. Very, very good blend on the cream, okay? I'd almost swear they put in 2 or 3 different creams on this. An excellent berry flavor, very, very natural, as well as kind of a candy-esque build to it. So many things were going on right here. The cream not only came up on the back end, but it floated around right in the middle, even caught you on the tip of your tongue just on the inhale, and on the exhale, definite solid berry flavor. It was a really, really good mix. I would have expected to taste something like this out of the real thing. That's as good as it gets when it comes to a quality e-juice. You always want to know, you can close your eyes, imagine yourself tasting some ice cream, eating a candy, or chocolate, or drinking coffee, whatever flavor it is, you want to know what's going into the profile. On this one, pretty much straight up 5 out of 5 on everything other than the throat hit, obviously. So once again, profile consistency gets a 5 out of 5 on that one. Cloud production, 4 out of 4 on pretty much all of these. And the sweet gets a 5 out of 5. So the Dapper, definitely an amazing flavor. Strawberry cheesecake, the cream, the blend, the mixology, just everything was right on par. They knew what they were doing with this one. Now the Sally key lime, creamy key lime pie. Key lime pie is one of those flavors, and I have tried key lime pie flavor vapes through many, many different companies. I have never found one that has tickled my fancy worth a darn, and it kind of annoys me because it is such a unique flavor. It's kind of strange, and the funky thing about it is I love limes. Now, key limes have a little bit of a different edge to them, just a tiny different edge. I gotta say, this one, among all key lime pies I've ever tried, was actually fairly pleasant. It didn't make me want to gag midway through and be washing out my my tank, you know what I mean, swapping out my cotton and my dripper. It was good for key lime pie. That much from me is golden. Let me tell you, that's an A+ right there. It was very creamy and tart, yet subtle enough that I wanted to take at least 2 or 3 more vapes of that stuff before I pretty much had it down. It's definitely not an all-day vape for me. When you have so many quality brands, sometimes you can kind of stray from the formula a little bit. They didn't do that with the Sally. If you can impress me with a good key lime pie, you pretty much got me wanting to keep coming back for more, okay? And that's what they've done. So that one was really, really tasty. Last but not least, Toucan. Can't possibly imagine what flavor, that profile that's going to be. But when I first started getting into the vape game, the cereal vapes were massive. They just flooded the market. Pretty much almost any company from like the past 5 years, all of them got some kind of variation on their own type of cereal vape, kind of like the strawberry creams, stuff like that. And considering the fact that the current census, probably before August 8th of this year, was over 4,500 American companies, e-juice brands, in the United States alone. That's a lot of variety when you're talking about exponential numbers here, okay? So it really comes down to quality. What is it they're trying to convey? They can come out with something a lot of other people have a blend of, but if it doesn't taste right, nobody's going to want to taste it. You know what I mean? So looking at my cheat sheet here, I've got a good cereal flavor all around, tart. You got the different flavors working on it. Kind of like tasted, to me, like a combination of Fruit Loops, Tricks, and a little bit more of a nutty oaty flavor. Kind of like Honey Bunches of Oats or something like that. Not too overbearing, though, as far as a lot of this fruity cereal vapes kind of burn your tongue a little bit with just that tart citrusy flavor. So it was a very pleasant taste for me. Little bit of a creamy consistency from the milk coming up on the back end, kind of wrapped everything up. So you had a pleasant inhale of fruitiness, slight cream. On the exhale, the fruitiness started to kind of dissipate, which was even more pleasant in my opinion because the sweet factor from the sugar came through and it kind of dissipated with a little bit more creaminess. So 5 out of 5 on the consistency and the profile for the Toucan. Cloud production gets a 4. You get a 0 on throat hit once again. And this is probably the only one other than the Dapper that gets a 5 out of 5 on the sweet. Kind of hard not to give a 5 out of 5 on a fruity cereal vape, you know what I mean? So, wrapping this all up, No Name Craft e-juice from Premier Liquids. Good stuff all around. I would say, and I've never done this before, as an overall 1 through 5 rating for everything all together, I'm going to give it a straight up 5. So an A++ on Premier Liquids. Very good stuff. Premier Liquids, I want to thank you for having the patience to stick it through. I know I've been sitting on this stuff for a while, but I'm coming back strong, guys. Really, really good flavors. I think you guys did a great job on this, and I hope all of you out there that are watching this, go on to Premier Liquids on Instagram or Facebook, and predominantly Instagram, I should say. Check out their pictures, give them a shout out, give them some love, and definitely try some stuff out. I'm sure they got a link on their Instagram page, show you where you can get some of this stuff. So if you appreciated this video, you want to see more, you've liked what you've seen, got some great stuff coming up in the future, check me out on Instagram at Joe of All Vapes. Got some good discount codes with some solid sponsors that I have. Also, going to be doing giveaways again. So that's going to be something I'm going to be doing in the near future on this month and in December 2016. So keep an eye out for that. Really appreciate your support as always, guys. This is Joe of All Vapes, your eye in the vaping sky, wishing you to stay humble. Love yourselves, love each other. Happy holidays, man. Thanksgiving's coming up. Just eat too much and don't forget to vape. And keep it cloudy.